We are back at the Lonely Mountain. This is a brand new area deep in the Terrence Bay Wilderness Preserve. I opened the first line here in February of this year with the first ascent of Inversions, which is the cave line just off to my right. There are 4 additional undone projects in this area. The first line you encounter when you enter the area down the hill is a majestic arête line that I'm guessing goes at V12-ish. Continuing around the corner, we arrive at the Inversions boulder. On the side of Inversions is a face climb that I'm going to attempt today. Finally, around back is a tall, narrow boulder with 2 additional projects. A very hard dyno up the left arête and a tiny hold desperate up the right arête. Today's session is a summer classic. Summer temps make everything in Nova Scotia 1 to 4 grades harder, but these lazy, pleasant summer days recharge motivation for the primo session grind. Today's video is going to be low-key after last time's love letter to one of Nova Scotia's most impressive and difficult climbs. My plan for today is attempting the easiest of the projects and then working my way up. In summer, I like to come out a few hours early to relax before the session. Being out here with the roar of the ocean in the distance, the cool shade, the sun dapple coming through the trees is seriously restorative. I come out a few hours early to relax on the pads, drink coffee, and listen to audiobooks.
What am I supposed to be able to do for you? Help me.
I'm currently 2 cold brews deep, 3 hours into my book. The sun is setting, the temps are getting cool. It's time to get started. The goal for today's session is the undone project behind me on this face here. As usual, I'm going to warm up today working the top out sequence, and then I will sit down for some Sengos and hopefully have success.
Check it. When I come in the place, excitement like a plane watch took the Jacob and iced it. Plane E coming through in the purest form, or some Streisand shit. When a star is born, I might rock a fake diamond watch for the scene.
This dyno took more tries than I hoped for to put together initially, until I remembered advice that my friend John Bowles, who's a national champion competition climber, gave me when it comes to breaking down complex movements.
Check it. When I come in, it's excitement like a plane watch took the Jacob and iced it. Plane E coming through in the purest form, or some Streisand shit. When the star is born, I fake diamond watch for the scene. And you rob me, end up dead for no reason. I approach those wanna cramp my style. When I act like a juvenile, crack a smile, say a rhyme that's straight out cold, strong enough to grab you.
John would emphasize that when you have a complex movement like a two-handed dyno or a jump like this where there's a complex foot sequence as well as difficult hands, change your focus during the movement and break it down into its component parts. You can very quickly learn the movement and improve your success rate. So in the case of like a two-handed dyno, actually focus on your left hand, and only after your left hand makes contact do you shift your focus to your right hand. And you'd be surprised how, even though it looks like a two-handed technique, by changing your focus to the one of the 2 hands, the success rate goes up significantly and you learn it faster. So here, the thing I had to focus on wasn't just jumping to the hold. When I did that, I would just come up short every time. I had to change my focus so that the initiation of the dyno is taking my weight, which starts all on the right foot, and moving it onto the left foot. And then only once the leg component is done, then I change my focus to hitting the exact crystal with my index finger. And by breaking it down into those 2 components, I can do it with a much higher success rate now. That was a huge improvement. Thanks, John.
Money, no matter how we feel. The money, without or with the steel. The money, walk around with a fat bank roll. Get the money, nigga. No matter what the deal. The money, yeah, no matter how we feel. The money, without or with the steel.
Let's see if I can demonstrate. So this smear is terrible. So right now, all of my weight is on that right foot. So shift to the left and go with the hands. Go again to the arête, and again to the high on the arête. And once I'm here, I can match. And the top out is the the top of it is relatively chill. I'm feeling pretty warmed up. I'm getting the dyno now every time with regularity. So I think it's time to set the timer on the watch, full 15-minute rests, and then I'll sit down for sun goes, and hopefully I can put it together. The opening sequence is proving more difficult than I'd hoped for. These vertical holds and the terrible smeary feet are making a difficult combination where in order to stay on the rock, you need to be pushing quite a bit with those bad smears in order to engage with the vertical holds and stay on. The feet are a lot worse than I would want. The first foot here, and the second foot's pretty high. And at first I have to get it as a front step, but in order to make space, in order to bring up the right foot, I need to transition from a front step into a back step, which has been requiring sliding my knee across the rough granite surface, and I was getting all cut up. And then finally, it's a pretty scrunchy box here for the last smear to set up the throw. So this sequence is quite difficult, and I only don't have so many tries at it before my fingertips are too worn down to get anything out of the rock in these summer conditions. So I'm gonna give it a try. It's harder than I was expecting.
Hey yo, spark up the Phillies and pass it out. Make it quick, money grip, roll your asses out. In a street brawl, I strike men quicker than lightning. You seen what happened in my last fight, friend? I did. L's a clever threat, a lyricist who never sweat. Comparing yourself to me is like a bench to a Chevrolet. And clown rappers, I'm bound to slay. I'm saying hi to all the girls from around the way. Yeah.
That ended up being a lot more difficult than I was expecting. I'm reminded of a famous Mike Tyson quote.
Everyone has a plan until you're punched in the mouth.
That's certainly true when it comes to working undone boulder problems where the grade and the beta is not known. They always look easier from the ground than they do when you finally sit down with serious intent and pull on to the holds for the first time. I ended the season this year in failure, did a whole season of climbing and essentially climbed nothing. Sometimes you have success and it's an amazing feeling, and other times you just have to call it. Being able to come out and work a problem from beginning to end and have success at that in this absolutely beautiful location is really restorative. The line I did today is nowhere near the most difficult first ascent that I've done. Also not even close to the most aesthetic or beautiful. But I know from past experience that these pleasant days out here in the forest, relaxing in the shade with the dogs, working away at a challenge that's just at that right level for the season, for the temperatures, it'll be some of the strongest climbing memories that I have in 2024.